Good evening, everybody. This is Ryan Shearer's final project video for Geography 580. And for this project, I deviated from my lit review and but I'm doing a project on mental health access in the United States. I've struggled with mental health since I was probably about 17 or 18. I've recently begun taking it more seriously and having treatment, and I'm doing much better. But one of the things that really caused the delay for me was access. It's really hard to seek out these resources to know what you're looking for. And I was just trying to look at this and put it on a map and look at some of the analytics and the statistics and trying to put a bit more of a visibility on it. I would have liked to have mapped this data at the county level as opposed to the state level. But the best data I could find was at the state level. I'm pretty sure that's for privacy reasons. So, not being one to obstruct privacy, we're rolling with the state data. So I made 2 pages in ArcGIS Insights. I've got both of them up here. This first one is about where facilities are, what types they are, what their focus is. The other one talks a bit more about what is available in a given state. So I was looking at this from the perspective of somebody who maybe I am moving or looking at places to move, and I am considering what would be a good place for me to go. Where am I going to have options? Where are there going to be opportunities? Because even if you are doing therapy remotely, your therapist or psychiatrist or psychologist are usually licensed by state. So if you are going across state lines, you must find somebody new legally. That's before you even get involved with insurance and all that stuff. So, without any more further ado, we're going to dive into this. This map will filter. I live in Ohio, so we're going to use Ohio a lot tonight. And these are all set up to cross filter to show sort of like, okay, what sort of types of facilities. I mean, you have this is a very dominant outpatient mental health facility. Very notably, for me at least, somebody who is religious, but I don't take that into my mental health care. Knowing if a facility is religious or not is important, has a religious affiliation. And then are they looking at government versus private, nonprofits and for-profits? Nonprofits are dominant here. And then what's the primary focus? So this data comes from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. So they're most focused on, is it general health care? They do some mental health stuff, or do you have mental health treatment or mental health and substance use or abuse treatment? So as you click around here, you can kind of see you can filter by a state, or you can say, I want to know how many public agency mental health facilities there are in this country. And it will show you by state. So you can see York is 230, Wyoming has 8. You can pan in on this map because like Virginia was not showing a number earlier. So let's zoom in and see what Virginia does. 281. You can also store it and see, okay, religion's very important to me. Say, I want to know what religious facilities exist in a given state. How many? This will tell you how many. Are you looking for like a psychiatric hospital? How many of those? Where are those? A few. Not many. Hopefully not many are needed, so that's okay. One thing that could have been interesting to do, that I didn't do, was adjust for population. I felt that the numbers did a pretty good job of approximating for population already. And I didn't feel like that would be a great measure because I expect that there is a huge variety in availability based on rural and urban. So trying to generalize population density across an entire state felt a little potentially disingenuous. So this is the first page here. Before I go to the second page, I'm going to talk a little bit about design. So I went with green as the primary color. Green is the color of Mental Health Awareness Month. So that was why I made that decision. Also, there were a lot of really nice green color ramps and ArcGIS Insights because you can't customize this as much. So having greens that roughly correspond to what something I could get on the map on the cards was important. And then for all of these values, I've chosen darker tones, low brightness, high saturation sort of colors to emphasize. Just to be subdued. If somebody's looking at this for the first time and they're needing to start and they're just trying to find a beginning of something, they're probably in a very anxious, very difficult state. So I was trying to go for more relaxed colors. So, second page. This one has more donut charts. So we have suicide care. This was the one I most thought about. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include it. I feel that it's a good way to showcase like the overall level of care available at facilities. So I left it in. I'm not sure if I would keep this if I was going to do a second version, but that's where I'm at for now. This is primarily aimed at adults. So does the facility take young adults? How many facilities only take kids or senior citizens? Is there a sliding fee scale? Is there a pay assistance program? These are really important in the United States when you don't have socialized healthcare. So it's really good to see that a majority in my state and in most states do offer those kind of features. So I think that's really important. So yeah, things I would love to add to this, with more time. I would like better resolution spatial data, first and foremost, counties, and then maybe even being able to aggregate it into metro areas using those counties. I don't have the spatial resolution for that. I get it's a privacy thing. So I don't know if it'll ever happen, but that would be great. You could do a lot more. This would be a lot more helpful. I would love to be able to have links to actual providers. I would love to have links to health insurance companies for being able to filter by the health insurance that they took. At least for the big providers like your Blue Cross Blue Shield and Kaiser and all of those guys. And I think if I had county data, I'd also probably symbolize this map not just on the raw count, but on the density. So facilities per person on a per capita basis. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. My perspective has just been I wanted people to be able to have a better idea of what's available. And I also, one of the things I have come to like about this is that seeing the number of facilities that have responded and exist in this country, in my mind, does a good bit to help confront stigma. When you realize there are thousands of these in this country, 12,000, you realize that you can't be the only one. And that it's okay. And that to me is probably the most important conclusion I draw from this, as somebody who could use this for real in the future. So, thank you guys. I hope this was interesting and worthwhile. And good luck on your final projects, everybody. Take care. Bye.